Linda. Okay, so let's see where we are here. I'm not happy with how these views came out, not because of you, but one thing, it's because of the camera angle. One thing, we changed this actually. Now we put people in lane 3. Um, we need to kick from your hips. You're a typical runner, like we talked about. You get a lot of propulsion from your feet, so that's why you'll have a lot of buoy stuff coming up. Body position's great. I know it's kind of funny how this is done. Once we do that and we continue to build your upper body strength, I think you're going to see a huge improvement of your swimming. Again, this was not you. This was Kurt. This was our mistake with this view. Elbows dropping a little bit. This is why we're going to do some position 11 stuff coming up and a lot of paddle work. The money shot, like we were talking about, is really the front view. So hold on one second here. So here's the money shot. This tells us more, I think, than the side view. So let's start with the hand coming in. Hand coming in is pretty good, although I'd like it to be more in line with your shoulder. So this is why we're going to reach for the rails in position 11 like crazy. As this hand comes down, we'd like it to come out like this and come underneath the shoulder. Some people will say wrist. You know, I think we talked about this at camp. If your elbow's out here, you know, there's a lot of play between where it ends up, between your underneath your shoulder and your elbow. I don't worry too much about that. But that is why your elbow is dropping. Now look at the entrance of your right hand here. I'd like it to be a little bit more out here. In fact, hold on. So when I mean reach for the rails, I don't have this red line exactly where I'd want it, but you'll kind of get the idea as I slow you down here. And then we go through this. So see how that left hand is inside the red line? If it was at the red line, you'd have room to develop that catch more properly, if that's the right word. Now, that would set us up for a catch that looked more like that. And again, whether your hand is under your shoulder or under your elbow, we just don't want it to be out here. So this is not quite to scale, but that's what we'd like to see. And notice I have that at your head. There would be a little bit better. So that's the angle of the arm that we would like to see. So now, notice how this comes in and you can see your elbow there. So if we get out our handy dandy little line, I never quite get this where I want it to be. So if your hand was reaching there, we'd have more room to pop that elbow out. But instead, we push straight down and we miss a whole bunch of water. So that's good because, and again, this is not the exact angle, but that's good because that gives us room for some free speed. So again, notice that hand comes in a little bit, forces that elbow to drop, and it pulls underneath. That's not too bad there, but what we're going to focus on is getting that catch down, taking some propulsion away from your feet, and developing the upper body. So see how much your knees are bending here? You're a prime candidate for buoy between the knees, reaching wide, and that's what we're going to be focusing on in our next group of swims. So this is good news. This is easy stuff to fix. I'm just going to pull it back to here so we can kind of watch that go. This is easy stuff to fix. This is free speed. It's going to take away your kick power for a little bit, but you're going to be able to develop that upper body a lot more. So we're going to reach for the rails, and we're going to work on, that's going to give you the room to pop that elbow and develop that catch like we saw in the Carolyn Pikes Nielsen video. So that's what we're going to be focusing on in the next several months of swims. Well done.